Hello. This little brat in Australia named Froggy43 tagged me for this 5-fact thing. And I'd like to dedicate it to my 4 subscribers. I have 4 subscribers. I've never made a video, but 4 people have subscribed to me. And, throughout the months and months of not making videos and basically doing nothing on YouTube but watching, they've been so supportive. And so this goes out to you guys. Okay. Fact number 1, I married and divorced the same woman 3 times. 3 times. And I met her when she was really young, like 18. I was like 23, and she was actually a friend of this girl I was dating who was bisexual. My girlfriend, the bisexual girlfriend, asked me if it'd be okay if she had an affair with her, and I said, I thought for about a second, and I said, sure, just as long as you tell me every single detail about what you two do. And anyway, the more I heard about it, the more intrigued I got. I've got to keep this under 10 minutes, so I broke up with the bisexual girlfriend, got with Jessie, her name's Jessie. Over the course of the years, we got married and divorced 3 times. Had one of the more dysfunctional relationships in the world, but we did get a comic strip out of it, a comic called Pall Mall. Which was based on our relationship. And here's show and tell. This is Pall Mall, right here. And I don't know if you can see this very well, but in the strip, Pall Mall is coming home late, and her boyfriend, TJ, which is based on me, is bitching her out, and her and her teddy bear are building this cross as he, says, how could you do this to me? And at the very end, she's crucified herself, and he goes, what's all this? And she goes, you win. Okay, that's the kind of strip it was. It ran for 4 or 5 years in alternative weeklies, and then that's a long story. Okay, fact number 2 is, I can't remember fact number 2. Oh, fact number 2 is I started writing poetry and got my first poem published because of a porn star. The porn star's name was Veronica Hart, from old school days. And back when I was in bands, trying to sing, I was in different punk bands like the G-Spots. We used to call ourselves the hardest band to find in the world. And other than that, I would always be the singer and write the lyrics. And I hooked up with this guy named Glenn Isom, and we wrote this song called 5 Hours in the Dark, and it was about Jane, or Veronica. And I actually got to know Jane. I called her up in New York, and where she was living at the time, and she tried to help us with the band. The band went nowhere, but fast forward years and later, and I'm doing Pall Mall with Jessie, and we're getting it published in this one magazine that does poetry. Bukowski was alive then, and Ginsberg, and so it was kind of a cool thing. And I just sent the lyrics to 5 Hours in the Dark, just for the hell of it, and they printed it. And so, I thought I had all this talent. I go, wow, I'm published in the same thing as Bukowski. Wow, I must really be talented. And I called Veronica up and started to tell her, and she goes, yeah, I know, the poem was published in the Moment magazine. And I said, how'd you know? She goes, well, the first boy I ever kissed is one of the editors there. And so, I was kind of like, that was probably the reason it got published, and not because it was a great poem. But I kept writing poetry anyway, and Veronica, or Jane, or whatever you want to call her, would leave messages on my answer machine every time I mail her one saying, these are great, and all that. And the first little poetry book I ever did, she posed for the cover, and that's her there. That's 5 Hours in the Dark. There's Veronica, poems by yours truly, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3 is I take it really personally if someone rejects my friend's invitation on YouTube. There's this guy named Largo64, a very stately, silver-haired gentleman, brilliant, does stuff on skepticism and religion. And, I was subscribed to him, and I sent him a friend's invitation. And he not only turned it down, but he sent me a private message explaining why he turned it down, saying since I hadn't made any videos, he didn't have the time to deal with me, and maybe once I'd done some videos, he'd reconsider, but, he had a life besides YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And I'm reading this thing, going, I don't want to hear why, what's wrong with me? I mean, why don't you just do what women do when they want to end a relationship with me and stop returning my phone calls and give me a restraining order, Give me this laundry list of why I'm not worthy, and, So, but, I overreacted. So Largo64, if you somehow see this, I apologize, because I did unsubscribe and I took off your favorites and I spat every time I heard your name and all that. But hey, I made my first video, so maybe now you might reconsider that friends thing, huh? Or maybe one video isn't enough for you. Maybe I got to make a whole bunch, or maybe even a whole bunch isn't good enough. Maybe I got to get featured before you consider me now. I mean, I know I got to meet your standards. What, I have to become a YouTube partner? What does it take, Largo? Just tell me, what does it take? I'm sorry. Fact number 4. I'm obsessed with Deputy Kimball on Reno 911. That's the character of this repressed lesbian sheriff in Reno, and I love her to death. I love the character, not the woman who plays her, Mary Birdsong. I realize it's a difference, but if I could hang out with Deputy Kimball all the time, I would. I think she's so cool. In fact, Mary Birdsong has a channel on YouTube under the name Janet Lame, Janet Lame, and she does these songs under the called 99 Cent Whore. You have to see it. But anyway, everybody go to Janet Lame's thing that sees this, subscribe, and then private message her that she really owes it to me to fly me to Hollywood and stay in character as Kimball for the weekend and hang out with me for the weekend. That's all I want out of life. Last fact is, when I was in first grade, I saw Jesus, the Easter Bunny, and a UFO within the space of about 2 months. And I'm not saying this because I'm a skeptic and doubt religious things to make fun of Christianity. I mean, when I say I saw these things, I remember them like it was yesterday. It was like very clear hallucinations. Well, I don't know if I call it a hallucination because I didn't start dropping acid until I was in 3rd grade, but whatever it was, it seemed really real. And that's it for my 5 tag nominees. I nominate KarinFredrika, greatest singer-songwriter in the world. She's on YouTube. I'll try to put a link. The Fetus Boy, greatest poet on YouTube. Like Trees Walking II, a great piano player on YouTube. Improvisational stuff. Jane's, I can't say her name. She's this English girl that talks French, that plays the harp and does poetry. Is really arty. And also sammanthagirlgirl. Sammanthagirlgirl. She does poems by a guy named Jizzy. And you just got to see that one to believe it. Anyway, thanks. If you watched all the way till now, Thanks, and thanks again to my 4 subscribers. Bye.